My dearest, beloved, I am Zada. I kiss your hearts. Here we are again. We're talking about rest, good rest, good timing while resting. And today, my dears, I want to inspire you to be puppies, Michelangelo puppies. And I want to play with you on this. And it is not reasonless. It does have a sense. I will enlighten you to what I mean. Excuse me just for a second. Did you notice, you surely did, notice how babies, kids, until a certain age, how they manifest tiredness? They usually get hyperactive, right? Not like us, we just get grumpy and slow and and you can not reason with us any longer, right? But they usually get overcharged. And this is, we tend to think this is a bad thing. It's just, it's like a malfunction, you know? But this tells us about the human resources. Really, it really does. And it is amazing. Because, you know, you must have heard that on this earth, there are persons who live without eating. The energy, we get it from elements, from the proper harmony of elements and liquids and everything and air, right? And we tend to think that our energy comes from that. And it is true, partly. But if there are people who live a full life, full of energy, of action and reaction and production, without eating, did you ever wonder? And we get there, where I was telling you in the last episode that we tend to believe that energy is something mystical and that it doesn't have anything to do with our being. We forget that we are both pilots and the car itself. It's the mixture that makes us functional. But sometimes, some resources that we thought were unreplaceable or the only source seem for other beings that have other criteria, have decided to have other criterias of living, of being, seem to be a totally different source. I was thinking with my daughter, you know, some time ago, and she said, when we were thinking about which are the satisfactions of different forms of life, and which are their characteristics of being. And when we were talking plants, she said, you know, I think plants, she was amazing. She said, I think plants are wiser than us. And I knew what she was talking about because I was thinking, but she was a child and she caught that essence. Because, why, mommy? I asked, because I already had an opinion on this. usually think about the strangest things and try to understand them around me, and thus I understand myself and the other beings rather well, I think. So I had an idea. So I asked, honey, what made you say that? And she said, better than I could have said it. She said, they have found a shortcut through energy source. I swear to God, she said that. They have a shorter chain to the source. And it is amazing because it is true. How do plants leave? Energy from the sun and some substances from the ground, but they use the sun's energy. They live. They have a life. They do not die because they're not eating meat. Some of them, by the way, are not the classical plants and are stupid. They must be considered the lowest level of the plants, those who need, not real meat, but insects, It is funny. We think that we are only this body, which, by the way, we do not lead with the total wisdom. And you know what? Another thing that I was thinking about, another thing we're doing wrong. We aspire to children's innocence, to then beat them every time they're innocent and happy. And it is not completely wrong because, evolution is the most wonderful thing in life. Did you think about this? We're not dying. Nobody is dying the way he was born, unless it's not the same precise instant. You're born and then you're dead. And even in that case, you took some breaths and chemically your body changed a little bit. Okay? So, evolution is a gift. It is an universal law, but in our life we forget that it exists. Often. Because if we remembered, it would be easy to understand that our instincts kneel to reason in human life, my dears. And that is amazing. It is useless that we say animals are better than humans. This is a very limiting declaration, and it is not wise. Not a wise statement. It is not a wise statement. Why? You will tell me that, of course, I have my own reason and reasoning. Of course, what I am expressing is coming from my culture, from my experience, and from my conclusions. Yes, I'm talking about my conclusions. But do think about it. Do think about it, because it is amazing. And what we admire about babies, about children until a certain age, is actually their capacity of being happy and enjoying everything. And it is not unreplicable for us, unless we forget happiness. We forget that we are born to be happy, my dears. And we pass by a flower, a gelsomine forest, and we don't even remember it. Of course, we are not happy as babies because they have less worries, less reasoning. And of course, we have to train our babies for life. But it can be done bringing an ode to reason, but keeping alive the joy. This is what I am here to tell you. This is what you can acquire. I am not a stupid person. My dears, I may look so very blunt, too darn happy, as too, but I actually probably thought about so many things, important things in my life, and found the key that reconciles, brings peace between reason and happiness in my life, my dears. And I am so happy about it that I would like, and I do yell it towards you, towards whomever you would share these words with. Because it is not forbidden. If you are a grown-up, it is not forbidden. Sitting down and enjoying sunrise. Some of us still do it, occasionally, if it happens. Do look for it, my dears. Enjoying birds singing and the flower. For a few minutes, it is not a waste of time. The joy you feel, the joy you bring across with yourselves across today might be more precious than many important things that you are doing during the day. And you might feel fortunate and blessed and God loved during that day more than in any other important day of your lives. It is what I'm talking about here is finding the balance between wisdom and joy. And wake up day by day the health within you, so you have the background to enjoy everything, but do it in an organized way, day by day, so that you can caress yourself, carrying yourself by the hand as you did with your children. Breathe every day, my dears. You're not taking portions from anyone. Drink. I almost finished it, but then I'll refill it because it is about almost lunch. It is fresh and good. Eat the best of the best for you. You deserve the best elements in an organized, wiser way every day. And I'm here to remind you that it is not as more complicated than this. My dears, it is easy. The grapes are good. You're there looking because you know and you want it and you can get it. It is easy. You only need a little chair. Our characteristic that brings us superior joy in life must bring is logic, reason. And evolution tells us that we have to, polish it and make it a work of art, our life. Because we have reason over our baby version upon animals version who have instinct, which yells stronger and louder. They have their passion of life, and our is stimulated by reason. We would be worse than animals, and we are often not because we are worse, because our reasoning, we nurture it in the wrong way. We are less good persons. It is not that some races are superior. we have more elaborated pleasures and satisfactions. But we forget, my dears, to let live the joy. Because that is what we are looking for. We are not looking for a new car. Of course, it might be pleasure. It is wonderful that technology brings us ever more commodities. But if we are not used and we are not waking up every morning, keeping alive the joy within us and the love and the satisfaction of being the captains of our ships, my dears, if we do not do that, as we said before, the car will remain a car. And you know what? After 1 week, it will be an old car. It is the joy that gives value. And it is not one race or another that brings the value. They have satisfaction adapted to their own being, to their own characteristics, my dears. I love animals. I love plants with their short chain to energy. But, the truth is that God loves us all the same. Differently, but with the same fatherly love, my dears. This is my truth. You think about it, you might get to think it this way as well. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. My dears, since we are talking about rest, remember to look at your children once again and realize that the way you learned to breathe when you feel you have no air and make 30 breaths, and how you started to doing it 3 times a day in order to recreate this habit. This way you slowly learned to drink when you did need water, to nurture better, not only to make happy your mouth, but your entire body and your entire working day, right? And the way we learned to get out in the sun, because it not only sustains life on this planet, but it tonifies our immune system. That way, how we learned that stretching in the morning and every now and then, in order to feel this car body, and that we are inside of this car, our beings, us great, wonderful Michelangelos. This way you have to learn to realize when you are tired, and when this happens, nothing equals rest, right? Because you see babies, they react differently, they have a lot of energy, they malfunction, and they're like this, right? The truth is that they are tired and you cannot reason with them. What do you do then? I hope you do not do, like I've seen every now and then. Honey, you're tired, and then you let them be. And then they, and you, worse than them, because you cannot handle the situation. When you are tired, my dears, just like you wisely do with your children, go to sleep. Turn off the lights. Give them an hour, 2 hours, depends on age, and let them rest. Let yourself rest. Do not mind any longer for appearances. Appearing is a sabotage to being, most often. My dears, learn to feel yourself. I don't care if my mother-in-law is watching me. Now I am going to rest for 10 minutes. During the day, we have necessity of recharging. So, recharging when you need batteries is vital. And then you wake up, breathe. For instance, I meditate I won't tell you I do it for a half an hour because you'll say I don't have the time. Okay? When I'm working and I'm in public, I just sit down if I cannot lie down and breathe calmly. I don't have to overdo and show off. I just do it in order to bring oxygen to my body, relax my muscles, feel that my being is still here, didn't abandon me, my dears. And this is what I do. After 5 minutes, I am new. And you know, if my mother-in-law is still there and didn't leave to tell the neighbors that I'm, if she's still there, I wake up and first of all, I kiss her cheek because I'm full of energy, I'm full of love. I don't care. I don't care. I tell her, I don't mind. If you think bad of me, I needed a rest. And you know what? Maybe she'll take example. Maybe not. But maybe when she will see you shining, when before you were like, and ready for the war, my dears, unexpected can happen. And you know what? It is not your business. It is not your business what your neighbor or someone else thinks. Your business is here because we come here in this world within this one body and not more for a reason, to handle it with art, make it better, learn to do better. And you know what? To love the others, whatever they may think or do, with wisdom and pride, my dears. And it is easy and possible. I tell you that these few steps reorganize your view upon what you think is given to us. Because, and it will help you reason and sharpen your wisdom ever more. Little by little, like the baby. Come, honey, I love you. You think you made it, you did wrong? Don't worry. We'll do better next time. This is a wonderful opportunity to understand how to do next time. It is amazing. It is evolution. It is the secret within this ever thing that we tend to think it's a tragedy. Nothing is a tragedy as long as we love and we live. Okay? So my dears, we spoke about recharging, but rest itself is even easier because specialists dedicated lifetimes to this. They came to the conclusions, simple conclusions that you can apply. Rest, ideal rest, between 10 o'clock in the evening and 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's about it. You have to clean your room, keep it, not as in a pharmacy, but keep it clean, pleasant. Make it a room of harmony and of well-being. It has to be silent and dark, because our beings, did you know, by the way, that our spirit is always awake? God is never going to sleep. Think about it, and you will, find your own proofs of what I'm telling you, right? And the truth is that the smallest excitement can sabotage your rest. So, my dears, it is important that no excitement criteria instruments should be brought across you, by you. So silence, darkness, and these hours, fresh air when you go to sleep, fresh air when you wake up. Open the windows, because oxygen, you know what happens, right? So these are the main criterias upon rest. Now, as we remember, we live today when prevention is important, so that we can keep sculpting our David with art. So, love people evermore. This is what we are talking about. It's starting loving from yourselves. Love yourselves, first of all. And you know why that saying, love the others like you love yourself? If the topics already tells you everything. You have to start from you. Because if you'll be loving, everyone else will feel good, will have advantages from it, concrete advantages, because you're more loving, you're more available to understand, to love, to give. And then, so love the others. Oops, I just get distracted every now and then. Love yourselves and love the others. Try to understand their point of view. Remember that you don't know most of the people you meet during the day. So let your life and your reactions be the right ones. Don't carry with you burdens that are not yours. All right, we spoke about it. And when you love people, remind them of respect and of love. Dear, the distance, it is important. I have my own David. Keep your David away from me. But I love you. I can't wait to hug you. In the meantime, I feel the heat, okay? Hygiene. Clean wash your hands when you get out, when you get in. Disinfect often when you're in public. All right? The mask, my dears, the mask. Clean and isolated whenever you're around, okay? And important, when you practice sport and you're not risking contagious situations, do not wear the mask, my dears. It is oxygen that you have to breathe in order to have your lungs, your full health. All right, so little by little, get aware. Oops, I still have the mask on. I'm in the car all alone, without hurting yourselves, you idiots. No problem. Okay, oops. And then, little by little, you will get aware that you are ever more aware. It is easy. Just give yourself the time. Give yourself the love and the patience. And we will all bloom out of this situation, having learned new amazing things about ourselves. Let's give it a chance to be a good time and not a COVID time. My dears, I kiss your hearts and see you next time. I'm Zada.